You're not going to like this, but getting the Google Data Analytics certificate might have actually hurt your chances of landing a data analyst job. Yes, I said it. I know you thought this was your golden ticket into tech. You followed the syllabus, you grinded through each of the modules, and probably even updated your LinkedIn headline thinking, I'm finally job ready. But if you're anything like I was, weeks go by, maybe even months, and still no job. Just rejection emails, ghosted applications, and the creeping feeling of, wait, did I just waste all that time for nothing? I've been there and I've coached hundreds of other career changers who ended up in the exact same place. Frustrated, confused, and just ready to give up altogether. All because they were making the same 5 mistakes after getting the certificate. And here's the wild part. These mistakes aren't obvious. In fact, they feel like the right next steps, which is exactly why they're so dangerous. So if you're serious about turning that cert into a real data career without wasting another 6 months spinning your wheels, this is the video you can't afford to skip. If this is your first time here, my name is Kadisha. I used to deliver pizzas, and now I deliver insights as a self-taught data scientist, and I've coached thousands of other career changers how to break into data without going back to school. And I'm here to teach you how to do the same. So let's dive in. Mistake number one, thinking the certificate equals instant job offers. Right now, there's over 300,000 data analyst jobs in the US alone. And for most people trying to break into tech, the Google Data Analytics certificate is where they start. It feels like the logical first step. It's affordable, it's beginner friendly, and hey, it has Google's name on it. But here's where people mess up. They think finishing that certificate is enough to land one of these jobs, but it's not. So let's cut the fluff. This certificate is not the job offer. It's not a guarantee. It's barely even a signal anymore. Because the reality is everyone has it. It's become a participation trophy to the data world. You finish it, post your badge on LinkedIn, maybe you can get a few congratulation comments. And then what? Nothing. No interviews, no job, just silence. And that silence is not because you didn't work hard. It's because the cert gave you a false sense of progress. It made you feel job ready without actually showing you how to think like an analyst and solve actual business problems. So let's be real. It's way too easy to get. There's no real assessment of whether you're mastering anything, just a bunch of quizzes, auto-graded assignments, and multiple choice questions. Certificates of completions don't prove competency. They just prove you can finish a checklist. At the time of recording this, there's almost 3 million people who have earned this Google certificate. So if you're banking on that alone to make you stand out, you simply won't. And even though the marketing says employers recognize it, I'll tell you the truth. They don't even care. It's not moving the needle anymore in interviews. This cert is step one. That's it. If you stop here, you will stay stuck forever. Mistake number two, doubling down on R instead of pivoting to Python. If you're still spending time learning R because the certificate taught it, you need to stop. Look, R isn't a bad language. It has its place. Academic research, statistical modeling, maybe even some healthcare teams still hang on to it. But let's be real, most companies aren't using R in production anymore. And I'm not here to teach you how to impress a college professor. I'm here to teach you how to get hired as a data analyst. Python is what the market demands. It's what businesses use. It's what hiring managers are expecting to see when they scan your resume and portfolio. And no, I don't mean learn Python just to check off another course. I mean learn how to use Python to do things that matter. Automate messy data cleaning, build data pipelines, pull data from different data sources, transform it, clean it up, and prep it for analysis. This is where real-world analysts create value by making workflows faster, cleaner, and more efficient. That's what companies are hiring for. The problem is, after their certificate, most people just keep going deeper in R, thinking, well, I've already started, might as well finish. That's like realizing you took the wrong freeway exit and deciding to just keep driving on it anyway. Wrong direction. I've seen this mistake cost people months of progress. They got projects in R, notebooks in R, even entire portfolios built in R, and still no calls. The second they pivoted to Python and started building practical automated solutions, calls started coming in. This is about opportunity cost. Every hour you spend on R is an hour not spent learning tools companies are hiring for. So here's the hard truth. R isn't helping you get hired. Python is. Switch now before you waste any more time going deep in the wrong direction. Mistake number three, skimming over SQL like it's optional. Here's the deal. If you're serious about becoming a data analyst and you're not fluent in SQL yet, you're not serious, period. SQL is not optional. It's not a side tool. It is the most tested skill in data analyst interviews. If you don't have it down cold, you will not land a job, period. The certificate gives you just enough SQL to be confident, but not enough to actually be competent. If you want to pass interviews and survive day one on the job, you need to be fluent in SQL. That means you're comfortable using CTEs, subqueries, window functions, and joins, especially inner, left, and self joins. And let me save you some time. You don't need to worry about update, delete, or alter statements. You won't have the permissions to use these as a data analyst. Nobody's letting you edit production tables, but reading and manipulating data with select statements, that's your entire job. And no, taking another course won't fix it. You can't YouTube your way to fluency. What you need is deliberate practice. You need to be practicing SQL interview questions at least 20 minutes a day. No skipping, no excuses. Build that muscle memory. Time to stop collecting certificates and start solving problems. Every rep matters. I've seen people fail interview after interview thinking they just had bad luck. It wasn't luck. It was just weak SQL skills. If you don't get this right, nothing else you do matters. So fix this now before it costs you another opportunity. Mistake number 4, thinking your Tableau skills are good enough. This one stings because most people don't even realize they're making it. They finish the Tableau section of the cert, build a dashboard, and toss it on their portfolio and think, cool, I'm done with visualization. But here's the truth. The dashboards that come out of the certificate, they're not job ready. They're practice drills, walkthroughs, templates, and hiring managers can spot that a mile away. Real data analysts don't just build pretty charts, they tell stories with the data. They guide decisions, they highlight business insights, eliminate noise, and communicate complex outcomes clearly and persuasively. If your dashboard looks like a bunch of random charts on a canvas with no structure, no titles, no clear message, you're not job ready, period. And unfortunately, that's what most people portfolios look like. Half-baked dashboards with too much color, zero context, and absolutely no impact. So here's what you need to know. Tableau is more than just drag and drop. It's a storytelling tool. And if you want to stand out, you have to learn how to use it like one. That means designing with intent, using layout and color strategically, highlighting key takeaways, not just dumping data, and writing clear, actionable titles that explain exactly what the viewer should notice. And let me say this out loud. If your dashboard needs a voiceover to make sense, it's not doing its job. I've had students completely revamp their visuals, moving from cluttered, directionless dashboards to clean, powerful designs that actually get results. And that's when the interview started happening because employers aren't just looking for analysts, they're looking for communicators, people who can take messy data, clean it up, visualize it, and present it in a way that drives action. And don't settle for just good enough. Don't assume your visuals are fine because the cert said you passed. Go deeper, refine your storytelling, and make your dashboards undeniable. That's how you separate yourself from the crowd. Mistake number 5, skipping the portfolio or just filling it up with fluff. If your job search doesn't include building a real strategic portfolio, you're not job searching, you're wishfully thinking. Too many people finish the cert and either skip the portfolio altogether or throw in a few guided projects they barely understood. Let me be clear. Walkthrough projects don't count. Templates don't count. Projects that you copied line from line, they don't count. Employers want to see evidence that you're already doing the job before they pay you to do the job. So here's what does count. Original projects that solve real business problems. Projects that show that you can collect messy data, clean it up, analyze it, visualize it, and communicate insights that supports decision making end to end. Your portfolio should scream, this is what I do, not this is what I copy. And don't overthink the tech stack. I've seen people land 100K job offers with just SQL and Tableau because their projects were sharp, insightful, and clearly tied to real business impact. Bonus points if you're showcasing your work in a PowerPoint slide deck, just like you would in a real stakeholder presentation. That shows you're not just analyzing, you're presenting like a pro. That's what gets attention. Now let's talk volume. More projects doesn't mean better. I'd rather see 2 to 3 powerful, well-documented case studies than 10 generic walkthroughs. Quality over quantity. Each project should follow a real problem, Walk through your thinking and include visuals, code, and a short write up explaining your approach, challenges, and a business impact. And yes, you should be leading with this portfolio in your outreach, on your LinkedIn, and in your job applications. Because resumes aren't enough anymore. Everyone's got the same bullet points and buzzwords. What sets you apart is proof of execution. A portfolio isn't optional, it is your secret weapon. So if you've been hiding behind your cert, waiting for someone to give you a chance, stop. Build projects that prove you belong in the room, and you don't need to beg for interviews. They'll start coming to you. This is one of the core things I help my students build, and it's why so many of them land roles at companies like Microsoft, Roku, and more. So if you're serious about landing a data analyst role without wasting more time on the wrong stuff, go ahead and book a free roadmap call with us in the description below and in the pinned comment. This is where we'll figure out exactly where you are right now and help you get to where you want to be without going back to school and wasting more money on more courses and just spinning your wheels in tutorial loop. This is exactly how I've helped hundreds of other career changers, from teachers, truck drivers, admin assistants, even recent grads. And you can check out the exact roadmap they use by clicking right here.